with this video is kind of all over the place. I started doing some film back Black Friday when we got in some stuff I'm about to show you on the car. And then I've been filming today, which is all the way New Year's. So it's kind of been little pieces here and there. So I hope to get back on it more steady and have more consistent content on it. But this video might be a little jumping around, a little chopped up, but I figured I'd get a little bit of info and a little bit of film out on this car. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll keep on. I've been putting in some crazy hours lately trying to get this stuff to take off, and I try to keep y'all scheduled out days on videos so you can look at my channel and almost like a TV show, see what episode's coming up next. That way, you know, you can set a reminder if you don't want to watch the other ones and just tune into the ones you want to watch. Hopefully you watch them all. But yeah, enjoy. All right, so we got some more stuff in the mail today. Gonna open a couple of these things up. First off, got the big package we've all been waiting for. Bam. So I ordered this stuff on Friday, Black Friday, and now it is Monday right after Black Friday, and it's already here. So this company was amazing on shipping. People that I used and got it from are actually right here. My employee got a hold of the paper, it looks like, before I did. That's who I used. You can look them up on Facebook or Google them. Got a really good deal on that for Black Friday. Important stuff right there. A lot of people don't follow the simple instructions. Cable, decal for the unit. We got the unit. Pretty cool. So there's that. It comes with a template if you are needing to mount it somewhere. That way you can lay it out. Already have the bracket in the car for all that. Instructions. And there's the big boy. Oh yeah. That's nice. That's nice. Boy, that's gonna be badass in the car. So that's that. Pretty exciting. Definitely gonna be nice. Glad that has passed us. Like I said, in part of a way, I'm glad it's here, and also in part of a way, I'm not glad it's here. So it's bittersweet, but I have been waiting 2 years for this point, so it's also pretty exciting. So this is kind of a test. I don't even know if this right here will work, but I had to purchase it to see, obviously. So wasting a bunch of time asking everybody on the internet. So this is a -20 AN hose fitting. If it don't work for what I want it for, then I'll probably use it on the water pump. I'm gonna try to put it on these breather tubes that I purchased from TKM. I don't know if it's the right size. Still trying to figure out a good way to do this. Being I like to do everything on a budget. That goes in pretty decent. That screws all the way in. You see the white lines in there? That's all the way in there. It looks like we might have a winner. Couldn't really get a clear answer on this. So definitely gonna have to order some AN wrenches so we don't tear up all these AN fittings that we're about to put in the engine bay, but that's pretty redneck right there. but I think that that might work for tonight. Let's give it a try. Didn't really tear it up too much. I mean, a couple little tiny nicks right there that can be touched up, but I'll definitely be ordering some AN wrenches. That's ridiculous. But dude, that's the ticket. That is the freaking ticket. So I couldn't get a exact answer on this. A lot of people wanted me to purchase the expensive Burndown tube lines. They're like $140, $180. I mean, they're absolutely ridiculous for what they are when we can fab them ourselves. But I just had to figure out what to put on these hoses to make them look good. So that's a cheap eBay AN fitting. Crimp down on it. That's a -20. Put down on that that burn down tube, and then I'll order tonight. Now that I know this will work, some AN -20 AN bongs, and we will take this 1¼ inch tube that I bought from eBay, and I went over another video how we'll be cutting it right here to make a burn down tube that will come out at a 45 basically, and then we'll have a -20 on the end of it, which actually, now that I look at this, looks like I can even go up a bigger size, but I can't go up too big because this is what fits coming out the valve covers actually. But maybe I'll modify the valve or the coil covers. Anyway, and this will screw down on the end of it like that. So all you gotta do is order some -20 AN bongs, so that's a pretty exciting step. But definitely could go bigger than this. But cool, glad that that's figured out. And look, what I'm gonna do for the other end inside the trunk of the car, where it connects to the puke tank, since nobody's really gonna see it and it's gonna be tucked up, and they're pretty good. And if I wanted to, I could actually put it on the back side of the tank, so it's really not seen. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some of this to cut a nipple off, and then we're literally just gonna push this on over it, crank it on there like that, get this over it, and put a good old hose clamp around it, because I'm not paying for no stupid AN fittings that go in the trunk of the car. When you pop the hood and you're obviously taking pictures of the motor, or it's at a car show or the racetrack and you want to take the line off to hook a vacuum up to the valve covers to help pull the heat out of it and everything, you obviously want it to be pretty easy and look good and functional. But the trunk, I don't care. So all the pass-throughs, anything where it passes through, if I do pass it through the firewall or the puke tank or anything like that, it's just gonna get hose clamped. The only place it's gonna get AN fittings are definitely going to be where it unscrews from the valve covers. And then that way also, if you have to unscrew it to take the motor out or something like that, it's easy to work with. You don't have to deal with hose clamps. More likely anywhere that there's a hose clamp at, it'll like never get unscrewed from there hardly. All right, so we're gonna get back on this guy this morning. I've been putting off this bumper. Had this front bumper mocked up. And you gotta remember, if you followed me on Facebook, then you already know that I had this whole entire car pretty much put together. Not motor or drivetrain or nothing, but I had all the body put together, and I changed it up where the whole front clip will be removable, which eventually I can probably show that. But I'm trying to get this bumper laid out and get this bumper where it's easy to take on and off. Basically, I can take the whole front of this car off. If I was by myself, I'd probably have this whole thing broke down in 15 minutes. If I had a buddy with me, I could probably take this whole front end off, or we could probably take it off in 6 minutes. You know, that's 2 fenders, grill, upper piece, bumper, lower valence, the whole 9 yards. So it's not one piece. It's not a one-piece front end. It's all steel. It's original steel fenders, original steel hood at the moment. Eventually, I'll be changing the hood out to carbon fiber. Even though I have took a bunch of weight out of this, so this one don't weigh nothing. I wish I had was making videos back then so you could see all the weight that I cut out, because this is actually all aluminum bracing. It's the factory hood, but it's cut right here. See, so all your inner structure is actually taken out of it. So this right here, my fingernail is steel, and then this piece right here is aluminum that's panel bonded in there for strength. So there's like nothing, you can see all the inner structure is cut out of this hood, so you can see it. But it is a steel hood. Fiberglass front bumper, and then the lower valence is actually a custom lower valence, and I'm gonna go over in another video. You'll actually be blown away at what the lower valence is made out of. But anyway, we're gonna do this morning is come in here and try to build some tabs to mount this front bumper. So I had originally, when I built this car, bought a universal seat kit from Jegs, I think it was, or Summit, way back when I had some heavy scat racing seats in here. Come with these, so we're gonna use these this morning. That way I don't have to bend nothing. I think my idea right now, what I'm gonna do, you come down here. So this is part of my one-piece removable front end. And then I've actually panel bond in here into the fiberglass bumper some tabs. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is literally just weld this up there, okay, to that, but utilize this 90. So this 90 will go under it like that. I'll put a nut cert inside this little tab, and then that way when you put the bumper on, it will sit on top of this tab, and then you'll just put a bolt through it with a nut cert. You don't take no wrench, and you just tighten it down. But of course it will be like this. It'll go up there like that. So I got to cut this 1.5 inches. That's the distance from that plate to the bottom of this. Get that cut and then tack weld it there, and then that will stop this bumper from free hanging. And then all I can do, I can move on to the center at a later date. I'm about to order a clamp that goes around the tube. That way it can be removable, and I'll make a clamp there, and then I have another tab inside here that will do that. And then I don't know if I'm gonna go with anything on these center tabs yet or not, but at least if I can get the 2 outers done today and order the center support, at least that will keep the bumper from having to be taped on, because I'm getting a little sick of looking at tape every time I come out here, and then it's moved a little and shifted, but then at least it will be where it can be bolted on. So let's get at it. All right, so there we go. Got the outside brackets put on it. That's enough to temporarily hold it now to get it off of where it's not taped no more. It's gonna be really solid once the centerpiece is put in. So the centerpiece, I can show y'all better now that I got the valence off. It's gonna be a tube clamp that clamps around this tube, and then it will go up to that tab right there, which I'll put a nut cert in. And then it'll probably have a piece of flat stock on the top where it bolts up through the bottom, basically where the metal comes like this and then goes down here to this, and that will support the center. And then that way, whenever you want to take it off, you can just unbolt this from this. You can unbolt that side, and the whole bumper comes off in literally a couple seconds. So I like to keep everything quick, slightly quick disconnect, but still bolt together, because it's not like this thing's going to be getting serviced a ton in the pits at the track. You know, the front end will like never come off unless you're working on something major, but when it's time to actually work on something, you could easily get the front end off by yourself in like 15 minutes so that you're set up. And the cool thing about on this car, the next hood should be probably pin on the carbon fiber one, but even if it's not, the hinges are mounted are part of the body, so the fenders will come off without having to remove the hood, and the hood opens up pretty decent. So I was gonna keep it all factory steel originally, but I'm trying to cut a little bit of weight. And the brackets I just built this morning, it killed me to build them out of that stuff. I don't know how thick that is. It's pretty thick crap, but when you cut it down to just right there, that wasn't too much weight. Not my exact best choice, but I can't really weld aluminum, so I build a lot of stuff out of mild steel. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do real fast. So my wheel is a 15 by 10 Mickey Thompson. Randy's is a 15 by 12 Mickey Thompson's. I grabbed his, brought his home because I just wanted to compare. You can see that one just looks a ton fatter. Let me turn it around in the sunlight. So, I don't know if you can tell a little better. I'm trying to get out of the shadow, but yeah, this one looks a ton bigger on this side than this one, even though they're both 275s. So this one is a ET Street Radial Pro, and it is a 275 60/15, and this one is a 275 60/15. Let's get a tape measure out. Even though they're the same tires, with the rim difference, let's see what they appear. So if you roughly go the contact patch, roughly 8.5 on this one, and the contact patch on this one, you've got at least 9, if not 9.25 or 9.5 even. So you're gaining almost a, half of an inch, if not an inch, on just going with a wider rim. So what I want to do, and this is a different offset than mine, and backspacing and everything. So what I want to do is, while I got his car up on rollers before I throw his wheels back on, so I'm gonna just fit his under mine and just see if mine actually clears a 15 by 12, with that backspacing, so I can kind of narrow down what I want to change mine up with. I know it'll clear it because when I tubbed mine really big, so mine's all tubbed and has plenty of room to grow. Okay, but basically I'm being lazy and not wanting to do the math if I order a different set of rims to get a wider stance. But I'm just going to test fit these on while they're available. So this is what my 15 by 10 looks like. This is how it sits up in the wheel well. This is how it sits underneath the car. And then this is what the Randy's 15 by 12 looks like. So it definitely fills my wheel wells out way better. Sorry about Harper in the background crying. She's mad 'cause she can't ride the golf cart. Versus a 15 by 10, with that backspacing, you could tell I got a lot of room. But when I built mine, like I said, I built it to grow. I built it where it had room to grow. So the 15 by 12 with whatever backspacing this is definitely looks way better on this car. Versus the 15 by 10, you can tell how much more I'm soaked up underneath the car. And that's with the backspacing that I'd already had, because I built this car after I had ordered them wheels. So I think we'll definitely be making a change to a 15 by 12 with that offset, so it looks really good. But just wanted to do a comparison for anybody wondering, like a 15 by 10 by 15 by 12, what's the meatiness difference, or what, how it changes up the look of a car. Of course, you can see my wheel wells. I have plenty of room right there. You can see all my tore up paint where I beat the living piss out of my fenders after I had painted the car, and then I changed it up.
And then I've got plenty of room on my insides for this offset or backspacing. So whatever this backspacing is, definitely what I need to order because it fits perfect on what I've already built. And that's what I was hoping. So it definitely gives me a good idea of what to order.